Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games. This is a weekly series where I play word games that you might want to play every day. I tend to feature indie games, which are not created by large newspapers or other game companies. All right, and they're always available on the web and for free. We always start with a bonus game, and then the rest I do every week for consistency. So today's bonus game is Puzzle, but with only one Z. And that is because what we need to do is we need to fill this out. We're given craft down the middle. That word down the middle is different every day. And we need to fill out five-letter words without ever repeating a letter on the keyboard. Now we can use the craft again, and also no Q, V, or K apparently. So I've only played this once and it was a bit ago, but what we can do is we can type words and we can lock them in. And when we lock them in, it tells us how many solutions are left after doing so. So I think the key is to use uncommon letters first, so that we can get them out of the way so that we have the common letters left. We also have to be very careful about vowels. Like if we use a bunch of vowels in one word, then we don't have them left for other words. So we want to think about how we can do high consonant words. So we have a vowel for each word. So this one's nice because we don't have to use any vowels in this one. It already has an A in it. So maybe we should think about, is there any way I can use the Z, or I don't know, even a W might be good. What are the uncommons? The X would be great to use. The problem with using something like an X is that you generally need vowels around it. I can't think of a good example that doesn't do that, unless we start with X somehow. All right, we're not going to use the X. Wonder if we can use the Z. I think we're going to have to do two double consonants. I mean, double consonants are hard to do. So, do I use up the R and the H or the L? Remember, we can't repeat any letters. It's like using up the SH feels wrong. I don't think I want to use up the SH. I wonder if there's like a PH word. I don't know. P is still pretty common. Maybe WH, wharf. I don't really like using up that R, but let's see how this goes. So wharf, if we lock that in, makes it unsolvable. Okay, so good to know. Let's not do wharf. What can we do then? Like I'm assuming something like chant makes it unsolvable. It doesn't, but there's only two solutions, and that's really limiting after only one fill. We're not going to find that. I wonder if, see, if I do something like detox here, it uses the X, but it uses two vowels. It is still possible to finish though. 48. Maybe I'll do this one last because I just need some way to fill it. I don't know. Obviously, that's true of all of them, but hopefully you know what I mean. One vowel each now. We can use the Y somewhere. I'm thinking about nifty here. I don't know. We're using up a lot of common letters. If I do something like nifty. Yeah, unsolvable. Okay. Maybe I don't do detox. Trying to think how to. It's hard to not use two vowels. What about like a TCH word here? Something like butch. That has a lot of solutions left. Okay, good. Would something like affix be good? I mean, it uses two vowels. Oh, only one solution left. I don't like that. Something like taffy has only one solution left. I don't want to use two vowels. I think I have to think about this word with the C. I mean, decor came to mind, but that feels like it uses way too many. There's 4 solutions left with decor. I wonder if I can get away with that. This is a really hard game, by the way. There are hints though, so we may want to start using those. Okay, maybe not decor. Is there some like trick with the C that I can do, like kind of like the TCH here? I mean, we could do an ER word, but that just feels that feels awful. There's 20 solutions left if I do pacer. That's a lot. All right. Ooh, I wonder if I change butch to botch, how does that affect things? There's only 3 left with that. Because I was thinking I could do like ORRY here, but I don't have another R anyway. Oh, I was thinking of forum, but no, that doesn't help with botch. I don't know what I was thinking. Furry, I think I was thinking, but we already used the R in pacer, so what should I do here? Affix is gone. Infix uses the I twice. Infer. All right, I'm gonna do a hint here. Reveal. We get dorms. Okay. Forgot I could do plurals. All right, so from here we have 1 solution left. Oh, we have to find it now. What do we do with this word? This is gonna be tough. Only 1 solution. I only have I left. So this uses no. This maybe this uses the L. What can I do? I can't do gland. Is there maybe a word? That's not a word. I have the Y left, but I feel like this is going to use the Y, like an FFY word or something. Is there an iffy word? There's nifty. I wonder if nifty works. Nope, unsolvable. Can't. Oh, I could do 50. Unsolvable. Can't do daffy. I mean, Liffy. Liffy. Jiffy. That was it. It was Jiffy. Okay. So now I just have to figure out a word that I can do with the letters that are left. L feels like it goes second. We'll see if that's true. I feel like this is going to be NT, but I don't think any of these are words. Glant. Slant, no. Would I do like... What would I do? It doesn't feel like I can use the X or the Z, does it? Definitely, I don't think X for sure. I don't know about Z. It doesn't feel like Z is going to be used. Feels like I'm going to do like a GL. Yeah, with the L, only G can go after it. Glant is it. So maybe we don't do the L second because nothing else can go before it. Would we do GN? I don't see it. What else can we do before it? TW? Twang. There it is. Okay. Cool. I mean, I had to get a hint for dorms, but yeah, this is a tough game. So today's difficulty range, hardest. Wow, this was a hard day, apparently. Oh, I don't know what this means, actually. I don't know what this graph means, to be honest. All right. Reveals used 1 out of 5. All right, cool. Let's move on. I guess we could start Dordle with craft. All right. The right word has less info. Let's see if it's an ER. Power. It is not ER, but we're something like preen, I suppose. Oh, not preen. Okay, that was a gamble. There are two E's, though. Something like this. Oh, is it puree? It is. Okay. Left word. A probably is here, and then ET. What does that? Ballet is definitely two L's. Okay, just making sure. We could do sale or salet, or however that's pronounced. Asset. Nice. All right. Asset and puree, two double letters, but all common letters. Cool. Let's do Fibble. So it starts with a curly. There's one lie per guess. So one of these colors is lying to us, and that's part of the challenge, is figuring out what's lying in order to get the secret word. I'm going to use the C and the Y if I can, and then I'll just bring in one of our grays as a lie. Something like crazy would be a crazy guess. Crazy was all gray. Okay, so what did we learn from this? Well, how many lies in total are on the grid? Well, it's not a trick question. There's two lies, one in this guess, one in this guess. All right, how many lies do I need to deal with the C's? At least one. And how many lies do I need to deal with the Y's? At least one. So if you're not a C or a Y, you're not lying. So it means we either have this lying, which means this is true, which means this is lying, which means this is true, which means we have the Y, or the other way around, which means we have the C. So the C or the Y is telling the truth. Let's do words ending in Y. How about something like, is bestie accepted? That would be fun. It is not. All right. Probably an IE word, right? BESTIE. I want to use the E. NT. Maybe I'll just start with C then. What can I start with C? Chimp. All right, it's doubling down on C being gray. But if we continue using the C, that's our lie. And then we would need to do, I don't know, this doesn't seem possible. So I'm starting to think we do end in Y. And is there like an impy I can do? Like is dimpy a word, or simpy? I don't know. Is hempy a word? Hempy's a word. Okay. Ooh. Interesting result. Is there another empty word, or no? I'd have to use the H. Okay. So clearly it's messing with us here. I think the M or the P is lying again. So what if I did something like, is there an OPPY I can do? Poppy. What if I did poppy? Wow, the answer was poppy. I think that's pretty good, getting poppy in 4. We don't count the first guess when we say how many we got Fibble in. So that's poppy in 4. That's pretty good. Oh, wow, these lies were nasty too. Lying about the M and then the M again. All right. We will do Betweenle, and we will start with poppy. All right, so we are 11% away from all A's, so we don't even have to worry about poppy here. Where does that bring us? Does that bring us to C? I don't think it brings us to C. Let's do like an early B. No, not early. Let's do a late B, bumpy. All right, so a little bit earlier of B, like brine. Okay, gotta go a little bit earlier, but maybe we're something like brain? I don't know, 0.26 is still pretty far. Okay, all right, so BR something. Is there a BRE that I can do? Bread. Okay, a little bit before bread, which makes me think we're BRA and then very late in BRA, like brawl. Ooh, nice. Brawl in 6. I like it. All righty. We will play word 500 and we'll start with brawl. 1 yellow. We're going to assume it's the vowel until proven otherwise. So I'm going to do one of these A second Y at the end. I like those words. If you couldn't tell by now. It's tempting to guess something like sassy and try to get all reds, but Let's not do that. I'm trying to think of a good word here. No L's. How about Patsy? All red. Oh, wow. Patsy being all red is way better than trying to go Sassy being all red. All right. That's lucky. I'm going to take the L and we're going to put it second. I like that. Fling. No, we can't do... Oh, yeah. We can do the L. Fling. I-N-G-F. Yeah, okay, good. Still one yellow, so if we're going with the L, then we have to say we still have the L. We could start with the L, maybe. Lemon, unfortunately, doesn't work. There'd be no N. What about like even a double L? We're kind of running out of letters here. But I don't know what we'd end in. Cello? Ooh, cello's fun. One green, one yellow. I'm thinking we placed the L in one of these two places, and I'm thinking the E is yellow. We could end in LE and do like ULE, but like I said, we're kind of running out of letters here. Which makes me think maybe we shouldn't use the L and we can get a letter from Brawl and a letter from Fling. And maybe another letter from cello. I don't know. Because I'm not seeing this. Like an LE something, LED, LEM. Okay, let's. I like to prove that it's not these letters rather than. What about something like QUEL? Quell is a word, but it wouldn't be double L. Quelm? How about whelm? Does that work? I think whelm actually... No, there's no W. Brawl. Oh, shoot, I didn't see that. The one time I don't look at the keyboard. Of course I mess it up. I really just don't see a word. Vol... Excel. Okay. Let's do a filler that'll prove no L then. Something like jelly? No. Do I want to just go... I don't think I want to spend an entire guess just proving no L, do I? Why did I pick the E over the O? I just kind of liked the E, I guess. I can bring in the O. Is there something with the O that might be better? Like an OUL or something? What if I just guess... Could or would? Mold. I guess mold. That's actually possible, I think. One green, one yellow. So did I get the green still true and then a yellow O? That would be the only option, I think. I'm just like I've run out of options here. Really unfortunate result though. If I guess something like wood, it would tell me if there's an M, but I don't have enough guesses left to like throw stuff out like that. Let's play the game of no L. What does that open up for us? Also, we know... Why do we know no R? We don't actually know no R, so let's bring in the R. It's so open. Let's bring in... let's say we have the E and the O, but maybe the O is yellow and the E is green. So no C. And then this O would be yellow. I need a green something here. Let's not pick that yet. And then something from Fling. So we'd have maybe like a ERO something, or you could end in R. I need something in place from mold. Really not happy with this, and I need something from fling. Like we've already got, basically what we've discovered here is that one letter from brawl, one letter from fling, two letters from cello, and one letter from mold already gets all 5 of our letters. So 1 from brawl, 1 from fling, 2 from cello, 1 from mold, and mold has to reuse 1 from cello. If it's not the L, then it's the O. So, I mean, it could be green there, but then we're bringing in the C as green here. CO. And then I don't know what from here. But if we say not the L, R makes the most sense, but it doesn't have to be. Corn. I'm going to guess corny to see if I'm on the right track here. So 3 yellows would mean that if we have the O, it's yellow here. I'm thinking we don't end in O, but I don't know for sure. So we're still going to go no L. We're going to say we got the R correct. It's just still yellow. And then the C would have to be yellow here if we use it. And then the O would be green then. Ooh, yeah, that's why I held off. Surprising results. This can't be green. So the M or the U would be green. This is looking horrible, by the way. One of these would be yellow. So we'd need to do something like R something C O. Oh, the O's at the end. Would it be like CRO somehow? I'm thinking about the word Velcro or something, but yeah, I don't. We get a green, then we'd have to have the green M. It's micro. Oh, it's micro. Okay. Wow, I figured it out. Okie dokie. That was not easy. Like with Word 500, you have to play statistics here. So something like the O being green is not something that I'm going to consider early on. So it just makes it take longer. Because most of the time it's not going to be an O at the end. And then you can get to the answer faster. All right, cool. Figuring out that there wasn't an L was really important here because it kept looking like there had to be an L, but there wasn't. I just got really lucky with the M here. I got lucky with the C here. Like I wasn't expecting that at all. All right, let's move on to Polygonle. So it just tells us where letters repeat. So letters repeat here and here. Same symbol on top. So if I did ing, it feels like this should be easy, like winking. No, that's not. Yeah, that is winking. All right, the N is correct, but not ing. So what would this be before the N? Any vowel, I suppose. But like, it's so weird. Would we end in E or like a T? Land. I'm not seeing like an option here. O or E and Fenton. Sent, lent, pent, bent. This doesn't feel right. Ant, rant, ain. All right, I may have to fill her today. I usually do. What could it be? There's too many options. All right, let's see if we can get some common letters. S-T-R-L, we need an E. Get as many vowels as I can, honestly. I want to know what goes before that N. I don't know how to do this. Let's see. We could do an ER word. We can even do an ERS word. That might be easier to think about. Just for a filler. How about plaster? Plaster looks really good. All right. There's an E. Unfortunately, I don't know if the E's at the end or before the N. But let's look at this for a second. And we narrowed down, like, we do not have those common letters. So what are we ending with then? Could it end in a Y? That doesn't look good to me. End in a D? That seems okay, but what would we do? Fenmend. Menbend. Menzend. All right, I mean, we could end in E and then have like an O or a U here. Condone. I found it. Okay. All right, cool. How many options were there? 36 words. Okay. Bigwigs, binding, winking. I did find winking. Winding. Maybe a winding would have been much better because I would have gotten the D in place. Okay. Maybe I would have figured it out with the D there. Who knows? Let's do the mini. Starts and ends with the same letter. So trout. Ooh, there's an O in the middle. What are we starting and ending with? S doesn't really work. Let's just get slops anyway. Nope, not S. How about aroma? No. I just like aroma enough that even though it doesn't have, there's already no R. Let's test it. All right, there's no A's. Okay, darn it. What are we starting and ending with? W-Y-I-D? It's just like, how does this work? It felt like it needed to be a vowel, to be honest, but now we only have I's left. That's why I wanted to try aroma. F, G. Like, I don't have L or R left. Would we do H, J, K? Knock. There we go. It was knock. That's not an easy word. All right. Let's do symbol. We always start symbol with blaze. All right, I'm going to assume we're AE. Let's see how that goes. So something like stare looks perfect. All right, I think we are AE, and I think we're an R second then, because this would be the yellow, meaning a different letter goes in that slot. Symbol works differently. Crane would be a good guess here. All right, we are RA something E, just not crane. We could be grave. We are not grave. All right, a bit trappy here. What's left here? AE. We can repeat the A or the E. If we need to. We have plenty of vowels, actually. Image? No, there's no G. Can't be whale. Quake? That'll be fun. Oh, no, there's an R second. Oh, my gosh. Oh, what a waste of guess. I forgot there's an R second. Well, that changes everything. How did I forget about the orate? No. Rate. I'm thinking WRA, but I don't see that. Yikes. I shouldn't have guessed quake. I forgot there was an R second for some reason. Drake, drape. All right, it was just drape. Good. Phew. I don't like getting it in more than 6. I feel like this game should have 6 guesses, not 8. It's not harder than Wordle. In fact, it's easier in some ways once you understand it. Once you understand how to play it, I think it's easier than Wordle. But anyway, so it should have 6 guesses. I don't like getting it more than 6. So, phew. Finish the game with blind Fusele. So, Each guess has a twist. In this first guess, we have 2 incognito tiles, so we will not learn what goes behind those letters. We won't learn the colors of those letters. What's symbol again? All right. We're going to start with drape. All right. All gray, but there could still be a D or an A. Here we're going to get alphabetical hints, whether we're close alphabetically or not. So what do I want to do here? I'm going to do my classic sus. The S and the U are just in really good positions keyboard-wise. All right, so unfortunately we didn't catch any oranges, but you notice how now we know that these slots, especially the S's, are not from P, Q, R, S, T, U, V. Those are some high-quality letters. I mean, the Q, no, but we get rid of a vowel. We get rid of the R and the T and the S, which are the big ones. All right, so now we just have to avoid all of those. The U is not in range of the Q, but otherwise it still catches quite a bit. So we don't care about the Q anyway. Let's see. What should I guess now? Maybe an L second? BL, FL, CL. Let's just try a CL. Here we're going to get a lie. It's like Fibble. We're going to get a lie in our result, which is really unfortunate. I want to see if there's an A. Let's try claim. All right. Well, unfortunately, there is a lie, so we don't know a whole lot. All right. This next guess, we have to do a filler anyway, because we have to take a longer word, remove all the vowels, and then just keep the consonants. The Y is not considered a vowel. So let's see. I'd like to test the C and the M if possible. If this happens early, I do sternal. Something like sternly, I think. Actually, I think Y is removed. I can't remember if Y is removed. But anyway, sternal is getting really high quality letters, but we already know there's no STR in any of the slots because of sus. So we're not doing that. We got to think about like maybe magically. No, we can't do the Y, right? Magicald. Darn, magicking. No. What if I do? This happens to be a word. Let's try it. All right, so we start with M. There is a C somewhere, and so we know this C is not lying, the M's not lying. So either the A or the I is lying, because we know there's no L. So A or I is lying. It's the most likely thing is the I is lying and just isn't in the word. But we have an M, we have an N. Is it manic? Actually. Wow. This game was trying to convince us as best as it could that there was no A in the word, because drape hid the result, and Fibble, the Fibble one lied about the A and made it gray instead of being yellow. That's crazy. All right, well, whatever mklng ended up being, I don't know what word that is. It would be kind of neat if it like displayed what word it matched there, but it doesn't. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. A bit of a longer one today, so I know people like when they're longer. Let me know how you did on these, and if you enjoyed this, why don't leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.